Everybody's talking about cinematic lighting. On stages, on podcasts, on this channel. In fact, if you want to make your film look cinematic, you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who isn't talking about lighting. And they're not wrong. It's huge and practically, pardon the pun, shapes everything about your film's look. But what do you do when you feel like your lighting is, well, good? You get it. We all do. And quite honestly, you don't feel like watching another lighting tutorial. There isn't one more piece of equipment that you can add, one more idea that you can fathom, or one more method that you can employ to make your light look any better. And you can honestly say when it comes to lighting, you've cut it, shaped it, bounced it, diffused it, booklit it, soft-hobbed it, hazed it, scrimmed it, lit it. Did I miss anything? Probably so. But here are 4 things that you can do other than lighting to make your film look cinematic. Okay, let's get it going. All right, before we talk about what is on this list, I want to talk about what isn't on this list. And that is 235:1 aspect ratio. Enough. All right, at least that's what I'm saying in my head. You don't need to put your film in 235:1 aspect ratio to make it look cinematic. You know and I know that there are plenty of films that are not 235:1 aspect ratio and they look great. Which kind of leads me to my next point, which is how to make your film look and feel cinematic, because at the end of the day, it's not just what your film looks like, but every filmmaker, including myself, should be trying to find ways to make the audience feel something. Love, hope, vitriol, whatever. As long as it's not regret, we're good. Okay, number 1 on the list, camera movement. I did a study, a small study, but a study nonetheless, broke down how many different shots were in the film, and of those shots, how many of those shots had camera movement. Even if it was simple, a pan, a tilt, how many times did the camera move? A little nerdy, but the results might surprise you. After breaking down these 3 movies, I noticed that the camera was moving anywhere from 69% of the time to 73% of the time. And I know it's just a small study, but I'd venture to say that that's probably consistent through a lot of movies. The point is, camera movement is cinematic. These directors and DPs chose to move the camera for a reason. Movement evokes feeling. Movement can support emotion and a film's visual language. And so if you want to make your film look and feel cinematic, you should incorporate movement. You should also be incorporating different focal lengths. 50, 35, 85. Add to the bag of things that can make your film look cinematic by varying your focal lengths. We see that the good folk over at iPhone understand this. In their quest to convince people that anyone can shoot a movie on your phone, they had now equipped you with 3 different lenses. Why 3 lenses? 3 focal lengths. Why 3 focal lengths? More cinematic. And just like before, the more you use these tools with intention, the better. Close-ups for intense emotional shots, or maybe when you want the audience to key in on a certain detail, and your wides for establishing shots. Again, there's no hard rule because this is art, but just saying, use varying focal lengths and be intentional. This is gonna sound crazy, but one of the reasons why your footage doesn't look like film is because it's not film. And it took a while even for me to kind of wrap my head around this. It's a digital image, it's not film. And so it would make sense then to utilize tools, diffusion filters, filters for your lenses, even post-production tools that help your video footage look like film. And there are a variety of post-production tools out there that are really powerful and can get you really close. Of these tools, the one that I regularly use is DaVinci Resolve, which is amazing. I've never used these others, but I would love to, so if you're watching, send it to me. As far as DaVinci Resolve goes, if you have the full studio version, there's really nothing that you can't do. You can add grain, you can add halation, you can add LUTs that all come with the software, and that doesn't even begin to explain the many things that you can do with this software to make your video footage look more cinematic. Let's move to the last thing that I'll talk about that can help your projects look and feel more cinematic. Maybe I should stop emphasizing and feel. I think you get it. And that is sound. It's why you and I as filmmakers practically beg people to put their headphones on, because we want the viewer to hear all of that rich, immersive sound. You want to talk about feeling something? Sound is the one thing that can literally reach out and touch your audience. When the subwoofers are turned up and the audio engineer has added elements, bass drops, drones, low rumbles, the insides of your body will feel it. That sound. If you want to draw out emotion, a good musical composition is one of the best ways to do it. At the end of the day, a good filmmaker will understand that it's all of the elements, the ones that I've mentioned here and even some that I haven't mentioned. When you put them all together and they're done well with excellence and intentionality, That's what truly makes your film look cinematic. Just some things to think about as we continue our journey of becoming great filmmakers. And on this journey, please remember to be blessed, stay inspired, and always shoot for the difference.